Tonight, snow hits our region earlier than usual, how you can get updates for cancellations and delays as soon as they are issued.
A Central New York Christmas tree farm is asking the community to donate to local veterans. More on what they're donating and how it will make an impact on local military families.
And fishing in New York State is free today and some others throughout the year. More on why this initiative was started.
WTOP 10 Nightly News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to WTOP 10 Nightly News. I'm Joseph Anawag.
And I'm Maddie Hewitt.
It's already snowing here in Oswego and we are seeing more than usual for this time of year. The salt trucks are out, the maintenance workers are plowing the roads, and there has already been a reported accident right off the SUNY Oswego campus. Some students are already looking at their snow day calculators for tomorrow, and others are quickly embracing the new changes in weather.
In regards to tonight and tomorrow's weather situation, Chief Communications Officer Wayne Westerfeld says administration will be constantly monitoring safety. In the past, the college has made school cancellation announcements early in the morning. If you were enrolled as a student or an employee of the college, you can sign up for campus alerts on your My Oswego page or by logging into the employee portal.
Our Storm Team 10 meteorologist Brittany Sparcino is live outside the Marano Campus Center.
Brittany, it looks a little snowy out there. Can you tell us a little bit more?
Guys, so let me tell you something. If you enjoy the snow like I know Maddie does, you are in for this forecast. Right now, we are currently under a winter storm warning, and that is issued until 9 a.m. tomorrow, but the snow is going to continue past that expiration time. If you look into the current satellite radar, we are currently in a dry patch of the storm, but that is going to change as we move into tonight and tomorrow morning. We are going to experience the heaviest of the snow at around 10 p.m. tonight and at 2:30 tomorrow morning, but the snow is expected to last throughout your morning commute. I will have my full forecast coming up after the break, but for now I'm going to throw it back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Brittany. And commuters at Syracuse International Airport have suffered the direct effects of the snow, with cancellations and delays. The airport tweeted this morning about the delays and say to check ahead with your airline regarding the status of your flight, and the airport remains open, but the upcoming flights are still receiving delays. Buffalo Niagara International Airport also reported some delays and cancellations due to the winter storm currently affecting western New York.
Drivers may need to prepare for delays in the Syracuse Airport, in the Syracuse area, The Department of Transportation does road work tomorrow. The I-690 eastbound ramp and to the I-81 South will be closed from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. The road that runs through downtown Syracuse will be closed due to necessary guardrail repairs. Drivers are advised to use the posted detours along Bear Street.
And the holiday season just got a little bit warmer for military families thanks to a Central New York Christmas tree farm. Ramagnoli's Christmas Tree Farm in Cantastota is asking for community's help in donating Christmas trees to military members and their families. The tree donations will be coordinated through the organization Trees for Troops. This year's goal is to hit 350 trees, and they already have more than 100 trees donated. For more information, you can visit their website at christmasspiritfoundation.com.
Monday marked the 100th annual Veterans Day Parade in New York City. President Trump kicked off the opening ceremony, making it the first time a sitting president has attended the event. Scott Rappaport has the details.
But he has those details after some information from us. So what do we think about this?
A day of pride and patriotism.
It's a day that's got to be honored.
Honoring those who fought, served, and died for our nation. A day for the veterans.
It's a chosen few that choose to do this.
Today marks the 100th annual Veterans Day Parade in New York City, which runs up Fifth Avenue from 26th Street to 46th. This morning, President Donald Trump becoming the first known president to attend the New York City Veterans Day Parade. This, according to the United Veterans War Council, which extends a yearly invitation to the Commander-in-Chief.
It is truly an honor to come back to New York City right here at Madison Square Park to be the first president ever to attend America's parade. Each year, this parade highlights one branch of our military. This year, we honor the elite masters of air, land, and sea, the legendary Leathernecks, the feared Devil Dogs, the first to flight, the United States Marines. Let's hear it.
The president is not marching in this year's parade, but tens of thousands of veterans from through the years will be, like Ephraim Diaz, an Army veteran who served in Iraq and says the importance of this parade cannot be overstated.
It means a lot. It means everything, especially for those that never came back home.
Honoring those who served to fight for what we believe in and to make this country what it is.
This Marine Corps veteran says Americans should take the time to reflect on the true meaning of Veterans Day.
Unfortunately, most Americans use that as an excuse to shop. There's nothing wrong with shopping or to take a trip. It's just the idea. People forget the meaning of it.
Yellow roses were placed at the New York City's 9/11 memorial by the names of the victims who served in the military. More than 275 veterans have died in that terrorist attack.
Governor Cuomo announced the start of construction on a new $17 million expansion of the National Purple Heart Hall of Honor. The Purple Heart, which the hall honors, is awarded in the name of the president, to those wounded or killed while serving in the U.S. military. Governor Cuomo says, quote, "The expansion will serve as a tribute to these men and women who have made our freedom possible." The Hall of Honor is being expanded with almost 4,300 square feet of new and refurbished exhibit space with an increased emphasis on stories of individual award recipients.
New York State residents are allowed to fish for free today without requiring a fishing license. Today, and a couple more days throughout the year, it was started a couple years ago by the Cuomo administration that would waive the license requirement for Veterans Day. This is seen as a way to encourage the public to get more involved in outdoor sports. According to the Department of Environmental Conservation, the next free fishing day will be in early February. I don't know about you guys, but I like the warm and I'm gonna stay inside, but for next February, you can go out, enjoy the cold, enjoy the free fishing, but not for me.
A federal judge today dismissed President Trump's newest lawsuit attempt to block a newly passed law that would allow Congress to obtain his New York State tax returns. The judge cited jurisdiction rights by ruling that the D.C. federal court did not have the jurisdiction over the New York State tax commissioner or the state attorney general. However, the ruling made today has allowed for Trump to block the access of his tax return again in the future.
Coming up later tonight, a plane in Chicago slides off the runway. More on what the Chicago Airport is doing to avoid this from happening.
And a Hockey Night in Canada host is fired after recent remarks about immigrants. What backlash is being received leading up to the nation's Remembrance Day. You're watching WTOP 10 Nightly News. We'll be right back. Good evening and welcome back to WTOP 10 Nightly News. So I'm from Long Island. I am used to these snowy conditions, but someone who hasn't experienced snow is my co-anchor Maddie, who's from New Zealand. So how are you dealing with all these snowy conditions with the nice inches of snow? Well, Brittany's going to run us through what the snowy conditions are actually looking like, but in terms of my perspective, it is amazing. I've actually never seen snow, so for those of you back home who don't know a lot about New Zealand, it's split into two islands, and the South Island receives a lot of snow, but the majority of parts of the North Island do not, including where I'm from. So I've never seen snow before, and I'm 19 years old,
That's
and a lot
crazy.
of people here laughed at me when I told them that. But it's just been absolutely magical. It's literally experiencing a winter wonderland, and it's been such a great joy. So Brittany, what can you tell us about what the snowy environments that we're seeing actually mean?
Yeah, so like I said before, if you love the snow like you do, you're in for a treat for the forecast. We are currently under a winter weather advisory, and that is in effect until tomorrow at 9 a.m. But the snowy conditions are going to last after the expiration date, but the snow is going to continue tonight into tomorrow and throughout tomorrow night and the rest of the week. As we move along to our today's highs, We sat at 34 degrees here in Oswego and 31 in Pulaski, and as we move inland, the temperatures do warm up, but not as much as we would like to for this time of year, as everyone is still around that freezing mark. And for your satellite and radar, we are seeing a break in the snow as we are having a dry patch, but all the snow that is in our west is going to be pushing up through tonight into tomorrow morning, and we are going to be seeing several inches of snow for tonight and into tomorrow. So let me tie out the snow for you guys for our future cast. Around 10 p.m. tonight, Monday, we are going to be experiencing the heaviest of the snow, and that is going to be pushing through until 2:30 Tuesday morning, and that is where we're going to be expecting the heaviest of the snow. And for your Tuesday morning commute, we are going to have a little bit of snow, but it's not going to be like anything tonight. But you should still drive carefully, as none of us are really experienced with the snow since we haven't seen it in such a long time. And the snow is going to push through for your Tuesday afternoon, and we are going to be seeing a little break, but then the snow is again going to be pushing through. So we aren't really having a break of the snow until around Tuesday at 10 p.m. and into the rest of the week. So for your potential snowfall amount, if you do like the snow, this is going to be good news for you. We are going to be seeing around 9 inches of snow here at Oswego, which is crazy for around the 24-hour mark. We are going to be seeing this storm. And as you move up into the Harrisburg and Lowville area, you are going to be experiencing over a foot of snow and 13 inches of snow. And as I mentioned before, since we haven't seen the snow in such a long time, I would like to talk about your winter driving tips. So before you do go anywhere, make sure to check your tires, make sure they have the tread on them, and to make sure your tire pressure is good. And then make sure you remove the snow and ice from your vehicle when you do leave, so it doesn't go onto other vehicles and doesn't block your view. And as well as skidding, avoid braking too hard on the snow, or else your vehicle will skid and you will be all over the road. And for tomorrow, if you enjoy coffee, like I know we all do as college students, I would get the extra large coffee because we're going to be seeing 26 degrees with those snow showers still persisting. And for the next 7 days, we are going to be seeing the snow for a good majority of the week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we're going to be seeing those snow showers with the low temperatures around 30, 40 degrees. For your weekend, we are seeing mostly sunny skies, but again, it is going to be a little on the colder side, but the snow is going to be going away. Coming up after the break, more news and sports. You're watching WTOP 10 Nightly News.
Welcome back to WTOP 10 Nightly News. An American Eagle flight slid off the runway this morning at Chicago's O'Hare International Airport due to snowy conditions and blustery winds. American Airlines spokesperson Ross Feinstein says all 38 passengers and 3 crew members were deplaned from the Embraer ERJ 145 airport, and are now safely back in the terminal. Hundreds of flights at the city's major airports are canceled, and the National Weather Service issued a winter weather advisory for parts of the Chicago area until 3 p.m.
With the country in an uproar, Bolivian President Evo Morales is forced to resign from office. This comes after an international auditor found last month's election results to be invalid due to serious irregularities.
Hermanas y hermanos de Bolivia, a todo.
To the brothers and sisters of Bolivia, to the whole world,
Quiero informar desde la OCAEña.
I would like to inform here with the Vice President and the Minister of Health that I have listened to the Central Workers Union. Also listening to the Catholic Church, I have decided to resign from my position as President.
Electoral authorities were then put under fire for supposedly manipulating votes in favor of Morales. Following his resignation, the next 3 persons in line for presidency also resigned. But the 4th person in line, Gianni Anez, the 2nd vice president of Bolivia's Senate, says she's willing to assume the position with new elections.
The immigration debate will be front and center Tuesday as the Supreme Court hears arguments on deferred action for childhood arrivals, better known as DACA. Kamala Bernal has a look in the inside of politics behind DACA and explains why the court's decision both could motivate members of both parties.
Here to stay. First-time voter Gabriel Madison still doesn't know who he will vote for in 2020. What he does know is that he'll vote for a candidate who supports the so-called Dreamers, who in many cases came to the country illegally as children and are now protected by the Obama-era Deferred Action Program.
Even though I'm a U.S.-born citizen, DACA is essential to our community, and getting rid of DACA recipients would detrimentally harm our entire community and what we fought for so far.
Madison has never needed DACA, but the issue is near and dear to him and has even motivated him to become involved in politics.
It's an emotional issue, and that inspires people, especially on the left, to be involved in politics because emotional appeals are always something that drives people to the ballot box.
Robert Sinners of the D.C. Young Republicans believes the court's decision will motivate voters in both parties.
It is a national security issue, especially for Republicans, because we need to have a count of who's in this country.
They're incredibly passionate about the issues.
According to Rock the Vote, a nonpartisan organization that works to get young people involved in politics and voting, young voters are not focused on a single issue, but prioritize those that affect their everyday lives.
Because they are affected by folks in their community who are DACA recipients or who have immigrated here, they know that this is an important issue.
And it's why Madison will stand outside the Supreme Court Tuesday supporting immigration activists at the Supreme Court, but also at the ballot box in 2020.
People in my community, we help build America, and we're going to continue to do so.
In Washington, I'm Camila Bernal reporting.
The Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program allows migrants who entered the U.S. as minors under 16 a protection from deportation and allows them to obtain legal status despite, in some cases, having entered the country illegally.
Don Cherry has been fired from Hockey Night in Canada after recent remarks causing uproar. Cherry used his Coach's Corner segment to criticise individuals who didn't wear poppy pins leading up to the nation's Remembrance Day. He singled out new immigrants in Toronto and Mississauga, Ontario, where he lives. After immediate backlash on social media, he was fired.
Coming up in sports, Ben Gramato.
Ben, can you give us a quick preview?
Well, coming up in sports, I'll recap a very successful whiteout weekend, as well as have highlights from Saturday's showdown between LSU and Alabama, and more. Keep it here. You're watching WTOP 10 Nightly News. Welcome back to WTOP 10 Nightly News. I'm Ben Gramato with your sports update. The Oswego State men's hockey team are 3-0 in SUNY play following a pair of wins over whiteout weekend. The weekend games kicked off Friday with a 3-0 victory over rival Plattsburgh. On Saturday, the offense exploded for 6 goals in the third period as the Lakers crushed Potsdam 8-1. The Lakers also moved up to the third spot in the USCHO D3 rankings. Oswego returns to the ice Friday against the College of Brockport for a 7 p.m. puck drop at the Marano Campus Center and travel to Geneseo Saturday for a SUNY title game rematch. Sophomore forward Travis Broman is this week's SUNY Men's Ice Hockey Player of the Week following his performance over the weekend. Broman had an assist in Friday's 3-0 win against Plattsburgh and totaled 4 points against Potsdam on Saturday. Travis assisted on the Lakers' first 2 goals versus the Bears and found the back of the twine twice in the third period. Broman has 5 points in 3 games on the season. The New York Jets topped the New York Giants 34-27 in the Battle of the Big Apple. Despite throwing for 306 passing yards and 4 touchdowns, the Giants could not do enough to get rookie quarterback Daniel Jones the win. On the other side of the field, Sam Darnold wasn't seeing ghosts as he finishes with 230 passing yards and 1 touchdown while adding 1 on the ground. With the win, the Jets improved to 2-7 on the year, and the Giants fall to 2-8, continuing the curse of the Black Cat. Moving to the west of the state, the Buffalo Bills fell to the Cleveland Browns 19-16 yesterday to fall to 6-3 on the season. Buffalo had an opportunity to tie the game with 22 seconds left, but Stephen Hauschka's 53-yard field goal attempt fell short of the uprights. Sophomore quarterback Josh Allen passed for 266 passing yards and had 2 rushing touchdowns. The Bills look to bounce back Sunday against the Dolphins, whose tank for Tua is in jeopardy after 2 straight wins. Speaking of Tua, he returned to the field Saturday against LSU. Tagovailoa making his first start since October 19th. Tigers up 10-7 in the second. Heisman favorite Joe Burrow finds Terrace Marshall Jr. for the 33-yard score, and the LSU fans loving what they see. Tagovailoa and the Tide respond, though. Tua connecting with Devontae Smith deep for the 64-yard strike to make it a 3-point game. Burrow and the Tigers would score 17 straight to end the second, including this 13-yard connection to Clyde Edwards-Helaire to go up 20 at half. The Tide would not die quickly, though. On 4th down, Tua hits Jerry Jeudy in the end zone, making it just a 1-possession game. Less than 2 minutes to go on 1st and goal. Edwards-Helaire says goodnight to the Crimson Tide as he trucks his way into the end zone to put the game on ice. And LSU comes into Tuscaloosa and gives Alabama just their 5th home loss under Nick Saban.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Ben. So I know that the Oswego Lakers men hockey, we are going to Geneseo this upcoming weekend. So what do you expect for the game?
Well, I expect it to be a very big matchup. This is really their biggest test up to the season right now. Jenny's ranked 2 in the USCHO rankings, as I said earlier in sports. Oswego's ranked 3rd, but it's going to be interesting to see how Geneseo is. They lost their top player last season, senior goaltender Devin McDonald.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
And Brittany, weather this week has been really, really interesting with the snow coming in, and as we all heard before, I'm thrilled about this. But is there anything else you can tell us?
Yeah, we're supposed to experience 9 to 10 inches between tonight and tomorrow morning, which is nuts. I wish I could tell you guys about a snow day, but it's looking unlikely, unfortunately.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. So that's it for us. Just wait for the upcoming show.
Thank you, everyone, and have a really good night. This has been WTOP 10 Nightly News.